Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we will be doing SAT level 5 problem. This is the problem. If x prime, x star is defined as this, every time you see this x with these little two stars, it'll be expanded as this. So there are many values of x, but I also have three different equation, and I need to find if these three equations are true. So this problem, in this problem, we are not going to be using any specific formula. All is just concept, which is right here. I'm going to use that expansion to work with this first, second, and third expansion. So I suggest you to just expand it separately first, so you have it, and then we can go ahead and try to satisfy these three conditions separately, and if they are true or false. So let's do that. This is level 5 problem, and it looks like, you know what, let me use some random numbers, and if that number satisfies this problem or not. This is the most common instinct most of the students have during their test, and I suggest not to do that, because it is highly unlikely that you are going to land with the right solution, a right number, because the probability is very low, and you have 60 or 70 seconds to solve this problem, and guessing some imaginary or some random numbers, it will just waste your time. So let's do that. For this expression, I already have the expansion, which is x squared plus 2x minus 3. For this one, let me give you a little bit of a tour on how to do this kind of problem. You must have seen something like this during your integrated algebra or algebra 2 or geometry, the function, regular function. Let's create something like this. This is a random thing I just created, function. So I have this function, f of x is expanded as this. And if I ask you to find f of 3, what would you do? This is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be replacing that 3 for every axis that you're going to see in this problem. So for x squared, it'll become 3 square, not cube. Apologize for that. 3 square plus 3 times 3 minus 6. So for all the x's, I'm replacing it with 3, because this is what my new x is, and that is exactly what I'm going to do here. So you notice this is my original expansion, but my x changed from x to x plus 2. So instead of writing x squared, I'm going to write x plus 2 squared plus 2x plus 2 minus 3. That's something like this. The concept that I used here and concept that I used here is the same thing. So let's expand this. I can use this as x plus 2, and then FOIL it, FOIL method. Or I can use perfect square formula, which is a plus b whole square is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And you can choose from either, but since this is SAT problem, I would suggest you to practice and remember more of like this concept, so it's easier. You don't have to waste your time. 60 seconds, there is not much time available for you to do this FOIL method. If you're really fast, consistent, yes, go ahead, but I suggest you to remember this. Using that formula, I have x squared plus 4x plus 4, and then expanded with distributive concept, 2x plus 4 minus 3, x squared, then like term for 2x, for x's are 4x plus 2x, both positive, so they add up. And then the constant 4 plus 4 is 8, minus 3 is 5, so that is done. For this, same thing, instead of x plus 2, now it is x minus 3. So x minus 3 squared plus 2x minus 3 minus 3. I'm going to use the same concept here, what I did for the second term. X squared minus 6x. The only difference is now it's not a plus b squared, it is a minus b square and the expansion is a squared minus 2ab or plus b square, or you're welcome to do the FOIL method, whichever works for you. But one more time, I highly suggest you to start using this perfect square formula concept. It's easier, faster, saves you a lot of time. Plus 9, and then use distributive property 2x minus 6. That is not equal, that's minus 3. Okay, so x squared, since there are no like terms for x squared, x, you have 6x, which is negative, and then 2x, which is positive. Negative part is higher, so it's negative. 6 subtract 2, it's 4x. Negative 6, negative 3, it's negative 9, and then you have positive 9, that gives you nothing but 0. Okay, so I just solved what x star is, what x plus 2 star is, and what x minus 3 star is. All I have to do is to satisfy first expression, second expression, and third expression, so I would know which one of my choices is the right choice. So let's work with the first condition. It states x star is equal to x plus 2 star. So let's replace that with this expansion, x squared plus 2x minus 3 on that side. For this, I'm going to replace that with this expansion, which is x squared plus 6x plus 5. This x squared, that x squared cancels out. They are both positive and they are on opposite side of my equation. So 2x minus 3 equals 6x plus 5. And then I want to keep variable on one side and constant on other side. I always want to also keep my variable on left hand side and constant on my right hand side. So what do is I subtract that 6x, because that 6x right now is positive, something is in front, then subtract it, and I would add 3 on both sides because I want to get rid of that 3 from left hand side. So these two computations, 2x, negative 6x, I get negative 4x. That cancels out. 5 plus 3 is 8. You are looking for x by itself, meaning you have to isolate x by itself. So you divide with negative 4. Not to add 4 and 4 like what we did here. Let's not do that, because negative 4 is multiplied with x. Just for your reference, don't divide with negative 4. That cancels out. X is negative 2. So what does this tells you is, for the value of negative 2, for the value of x equal negative 2, this expression is true, meaning this is valid. So let's work with second expression, which is this, equal x minus 3 star. Okay, I already know the expansion for that x star, which is x squared plus 2x minus 3. And I also know the expansion for this star, which is right here, x squared minus 4x. Okay, same thing. This x squared, that x squared cancels out. All I have is 2x minus 3 minus 4x. Since this is a practice, I'm writing this step. I'm also writing this step, one at a time, so everybody can follow what I am doing here. But at your level, you can skip this and do the computations in this line, and at the exam scenario you can do that. Okay, so the variable on one side, constant on the other side, so add 4x because it's negative, and add 4x on that side too, and then subtract 3, add 3 on that side. Okay, so that cancels out on that side. Here they are both positive, so it will be 6x equal 3. Isolate x by itself, divided by 6, and x is equal to 1/2. Okay, so what we have here is this. For x value equal 1/2, this expression is valid, meaning that expression is also true. So this is also true. Let's work with the third one. x minus 2, x plus 2, apologize, and x minus 3. Okay, so I already know the expansion for x plus 2 star, which is x squared plus 6x plus 5. So likewise, I also have the expansion for x minus 3 star, which is x squared minus 4x. Similarly, x squared cancels out for the same reason. They're both positive, same term, opposite side of my equation. 6x plus 5 is what I have left on this side, and negative 4x on the other side. So add 4x because that is negative. And the whole idea is to get a constant on one side and variable on the other side. Subtract 5 because it's positive right now. That cancels this out, that cancels that out. They're both positive, so they add up. Gives you 10x, and that is negative 5 on that side. Okay, and then isolate x by itself, so just divide with 10. X will give you negative 1/2. So in this part of my expression, I mean it's sort of equation, but in this part of my condition, which is a third condition from my problem, is also true for the value of x when it is equal to 1/2. So that tells us third one is also true. So first, second, and third, all the conditions that are provided to me are all true. So in my case, E is my answer. But wouldn't that be amazing if I employ some sort of tactics, like shortcut method, to eliminate some sort of work that I need to do here? What I did is I did everything. I opened everything and I solved all the parts. Let me give you a hint on how you could avoid doing everything and use strategies to eliminate most of the work that you do in your test. So let's focus on this one right here. If you noticed, x equal negative 2, that tells you the first term is already true. So guess what? It cannot be, if the condition 1 is already true, it cannot be B and it cannot be C, because it only says either the second one is true or third one is true. But we already know that is not true because the first condition is already true. We just found out. So in this case, I may not have to solve this part. I could go and solve this part, because if this part turns out to be false, then guess what? I know either D is true. Because if this is not right, then both could be right. I could come back and do that. So I could just do this portion directly and save you some times, and that'll be one of the strategies you would employ in your SAT test. And one more time, please do not waste your time using random numbers to satisfy equation like this, because chances are you may be just going around in a circle or in a whole different direction and are nowhere even close to solving your problem. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel for more videos to come.